Hey mates, and welcome to Blindformers. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and we're in a new area today. I'm doing a house sitting for my cousin, but I decided I would bring some Transformers with me and do a review of Quintessa Prime while I'm here. I forgot to bring Amalgamus Prime, and I'm still trying to figure out his transformations. I want to give you at least 2 or 3 of them whenever we do the video on Amalgamus Prime. Now, when it comes to Amalgamus Prime, he's a weaponizer. So I'm going to try and pull out other weaponizers that I have, and I'm going to discuss weaponizers and Amalgamus Prime as the OG weaponizer. Because that's what I'm calling Amalgamus Prime. He just has the weaponizer gimmick, so he's the original weaponizer, in my opinion. Anyway, that's another video, and we're going to talk about that when we get around to him, which should be next week, if the Leo Kaiser doesn't arrive. But today, I have for you Quintessa Prime. The other Prime that I believe needs to be female. There are, in my opinion, in my headspace, there are 3 female Primes. There's Solus Prime, there's Prima Prime, and then there's Quintessa Prime. And some people may poo-poo that idea of mine, but look at this. This character's wearing a really cool dress. They've got these really, really big like arm things that hang down, like they're wearing one of those dresses that has the big sweeping sleeves on it, and it just like it's either shaman or female, and I'm really feeling this character being a woman and being a female Transformer, and you know, it's just my headspace. It's my headcanon. It's how it works for me. I think there needs to be, more female representation in the original 13, and in my opinion, those are the 3 that are female. It just works for those 3 to be female, especially Prima Prime. Come on, Prima is definitely a feminine-sounding name, and that's the moment I heard that name, like, oh, cool, they have one of the main characters of the Primes is female, in addition to Solus. That's neat. And then they're like, no, it's man, and I'm like, too late. It's in my head canon. You can't tell me otherwise. I love the fact, that I just like these guys being, Quintessa being a female Transformer. Anyway, that's just a little bit that I wanted to mention. So let's get into a size comparison real quick. I've got the Studio Series 86 Bumblebee right here. I love my Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. That is a really fun character. He comes up to this hole in Quintessa Prime's chest. That is just right to there. The skirts get in the way of the measurements, really. Let's lower your arm so you're close as possible to there. Yeah, so it goes right to the bottom of this hole in Solus Prime's chest, and I think this little hole is really cool. Solus Prime can put their arm around Bumblebee, and then they can slap Bumblebee in the back of the head. Yeah. So good, make you want to slap your Bumblebee. Anyway, now for robot mode with this guy, he's basic. He's got basic arms that pull a little more than a 90, basic shoulder that goes up a little more than a 90, does do the full rotation. The head is hard to get to because of this thing on his back, but he can rotate left and right and look up and down. He can actually look down very nice. I do like the joint in this head. It's really good. Waist rotation, yes, he's got waist rotation. He also has these little things that come up. They're like these weird tentacle things, but they can come up and down. His hand can spin around, for him to hold a sword or something. Oh, I just dropped him. But it's okay. He's a pretty solid guy. And in his hand here is his, this is his prime weapon. The thing that all the Primes got from Solus. She made everybody something. And this is some sort of creation gem. It's what Quintessa Prime used to create the Quintesson race. And the alligator cons and the alicons and the sharkticons, they were all made by using this crystal. And that's a pretty powerful element right there, in my opinion. He was always about the biological and making it better, but you can plug it into his chest, kinda. It sits there and kind of sticks out of his chest like he's going to shoot a beam of creation at you. Like, better watch out. Your dog may become a cat. Oh, snap. So that's that's his weapon. Now, I, as a blind person, had no idea where this weapon was. I tore that box apart. I watched videos, and finally, in Prime v Prime, he mentioned this cockpit, and that his weapon was in this cockpit. And this cockpit's a little hard to get into, but it's right on his back. You can find it with that little hole there. And one way to get into this cockpit is to plug this guy into the hole, and then you open the cockpit by using some leverage, and you just turn this crystal thing into a lever to open the cockpit. And yes, this cockpit is too small for Headmasters, and I haven't tried it yet with the Brainmaster that came with Star Saber, Victory Saber, but I'm very curious if the Brainmaster, Guy of Courage, can actually fit inside of this little cockpit area. So we can go ahead and put the gemstone in here, and if we do it right, the end of it should stick out of his chest a little bit, and his chest will turn green. I think, or some color. I think that's really neat. That's a neat little gimmick. I get it. I like the gimmicks that you can tell they're a bit on the cost saving, but also do something cool. So there it is. That crystal fits perfectly in his little cockpit, and then he can shut the crystal cockpit, and then you get this little this thing sticking out of his chest a little bit, and I like that. I think that's kind of a neat addition to this Transformer. And of course, you could do it in reverse if we can pull this cockpit up here. Come on, cockpit. The cockpit is a little hard to get into, and I do wish that there was an easier way of getting into this cockpit on this guy's back, because it is troublesome. I like it when they give us a little lip or something we can catch our fingernails on and pull this up. They didn't really do that this time. All they gave us is this 5mm port back here, so it means I've got to use this gun, and we're just going to put the gun in the 5mm port and open that cockpit. There we go. Yay! Bumblebee for the win. Here's your gun back, Bumblebee. Keep that handy. You need that for your transformation. Alright, so we're going to take this little crystal out real quick. We're going to flip it around and see if it will fit in reverse. So we're going to stick the end of the crystal into this hole in the cockpit roof. If we can get it there. There it is. Come on now. Come on now. Go in there. Will you go in there, or is that something you can't fit into? Did they not design it that way? Oh, they did not design it that way. That hole does not go all the way through to the cockpit, so I can't put the crystal in reverse, and that's a little sad. That's a little sad. I was hoping I could put the crystal in reverse, but I cannot. We're going to put the crystal back and close the cockpit. Now, texture-wise, I want to say, I don't like all this skirt stuff down here with these tentacles. I love the textures on the tentacles, and that every one of these tentacles has a bit of texture added to it, which is really nice. Coming from the blind perspective, there's a lot to feel on this, but I really wish that these tentacles were more on the bendy side. And yeah, some people poo-poo the bendy stuff because, oh, the wire breaks. Well, stop bending it so much. You're not supposed to sit there and bend it for hours. You're supposed to just bend it in one place and leave it like that for years until you want to bend it somewhere else. So the skirts are done up in multiple panels. We have one panel of a bunch of little bitty tentacles, another panel of tentacles on the front, so that the skirt on his front is divvied up so that you can have him walking forwards. And of course, that panel will go up a bit while his leg goes up a bit. And that's really nice. They didn't just give us a full panel in the front that moves in one motion, and I really appreciate that. And he also has this on the sides where his side panels come up, so he can do side kicks and have the panel just run, all these tentacles just run down his leg while he's kicking sideways. I think that's neat. They did put a lot of, they put some thought into this creation, and it seems like it is a difficult thing to turn into something. And I do wish it became something that looked more like a quintesson instead of a weird space squid. But we're going to talk about that. But the back panel is just one giant panel. And it'd been nice if the back panel was also two separate ones. And the back panel also has these two sockets in it, little rectangular holes. And that's going to be where these legs plug in during the transformation. And we're going to get to the transformation shortly. So, robot mode, I'm going to have to give this guy... well, he's getting an A-. I think he could have been better. But as robot modes go, this has got what I appreciate, which is articulation and texture. You reach in here, and even the thighs on this guy have texture. You're not supposed to see these thighs, okay? These thighs are kind of hidden, but we're going to raise some stuff up and try and get you to see that there's texture on these thighs. And that is the attention to detail that I really love from Transformers. It's stuff like these ridges around the thigh. They didn't have to put that there. Okay, this is hidden. You never see this, but they did it anyway. And I appreciate 2 thumbs up from this blind man to you engineers out there for doing that, okay? For putting the time and effort into making these little details, like this really nice sculpt work on these legs. These legs have some really cool textures to them. I like how they all blend together. I like that it feels like his legs are actually just a grouping of tentacles that have been squeezed together to turn into legs. And even the bottoms of his feet feel like they're ends of tentacles coming down from the legs. And that is something special. That is something that I was not expecting to get with this figure. And that's why he's getting an A for an A- for his robot mode. This is really good. Now, it's not S category good, but it is a really good robot mode. And as a blind person, I really appreciate the textures. And I have really appreciated every one of the primes so far. And I'm very happy to have 10 of them. Yes, Onyx Prime is in the mail. It was given to me by Robinson Prime. I don't even know who Robinson Prime is. But Robinson Prime sent me an Onyx Prime because I mentioned on a video that I needed Onyx Prime. So Robinson, thank you. It's in the mail, and I'm very excited about it. 2 thumbs up from this blind man to you. Yeah. All right, now let's get into this transformation, because this transformation isn't the best transformation, I'm going to be honest with you, but it is a cool one anyway. So I also wanted to mention his face. His face feels like it's Cthulhu. Like he's got tentacle things running down his face. You could feel all those little lines of things. And he's got these eyes that are deep set into his head. They're a bit further up too. And it's just this big old mass of tentacle beard that comes down to his chest, where you feel like there's more tentacle-like things. Like this guy he's tentacular. That's what he is. He's tentacular. Now, let's get into his transformation. So you want to raise up his arms, rotate both of them up to the sky, 180 degrees. Okay? Next step is you want to take his forearms, the little forearm skirts, and you're going to raise them up, and you'll notice there's a hollow section in that forearm skirt, and that is where his hand is going to fit into. So you're going to feel the forearm skirt on the other side, and we're going to rotate that arm around so that it's facing the right direction. There we go. Raise that up and cover the fist with it. And now he's reaching for the sky. And this is a part where it's just a bit of squeezing, where you bend the elbows backwards a little bit, and then you kind of fold it up, and it's going to cover his head completely. I mean, his head is visible right there. You can rotate it if you want, but I don't rotate my heads anymore because I keep having problems with them getting stuck. Let's see. Now you're going to line up the arm skirts, and they're going to all peg together, and so are the arms. The arms are going to peg together too. And now you're going to get the really neat top of a squid. It should all, yeah, there it goes. So that is going to be the head of the squid. Now we're going to come down here to the legs, and the legs don't take much. Like this guy doesn't take much effort to transform at all. So just pick up all the stuff on the sides and lower the other skirts. We're just spreading all the skirts out so we can get access to these legs. Now next step is we're going to pull the knee, and we're going to fold the leg as far up as we can, and the knee should go almost all the way up to the top of the thigh. We're going to do it on the other side where the knee gets folded out, and then everything folds up and kind of connects to the top of the thigh, and then these legs fold down, and that foot folds down. And we're going to make sure that all that is connected. Now, if you feel, there are now going to be 4 rectangular ports on these legs. There's going to be, and they're going to be almost directly apart from each other. 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. And those are going to plug into these skirts. So we're going to pull down one skirt, and we're going to make sure that skirt plugs into that leg. Then we're going to pull down the other skirt, and we're going to make sure this skirt plugs into the leg. And it may take you a minute to get it right. There it goes. There it goes. I do like that. Now, around here to the back, well, first off, let's go ahead and fold the side skirts on either side. We'll fold the side skirts last. So around here on the back, go ahead and fold this skirt down and connect it to both of those connections, one on each leg. And now all of the connections are made. Fold these side panels down to hide the legs further. And then we're going to drag these two tentacles upwards, and they're going to act as landing gear. There we go, tentacle, tentacle, and boom. He is done. And he is a weird space squid. We get a space squid, and I really like the fact that this feels like a transmetal. You know, it's not biological, it's not machine, it's transmetal. He is a biological form with a cockpit, you know, and that's cool stuff. Okay, I appreciate the fact that this guy kind of becomes transmetal, and it really works with how everything working with this. I like the fact that these tentacles are kind of on ball hinges, so we can just do that. And now you can raise up the head of the squid, and it's so cool. He gets a space squid mode. Now the space squid mode, and there's not really much to talk about. You got these two tentacles that are on hinges that you can rotate around to use as a landing gear for him if you want. His the peak of his crown for the squid is really neat. You got a lot of cool textures in there. I like how all the textures that we had in robot mode blend together to create the textures for his vehicle mode, and it works. Even on the bottom here, where you would expect there to be a lot of robot kibble, it doesn't feel like robot kibble. Yeah, his face is visible there, but his face is full of tentacles, so it just kind of works. And on the underside of these arms, you get these two hollow points that I don't like, but that's it. You get two hollow points. Everything else is solid. Everything else is good. This is a decent beast mode, and I would consider this to be transmetal. I think this is an excellent transmetal mode for Quintessa Prime. I like the space squid. I like the fact that, you know, it happened in the story where Quintessa Prime just kind of went off on their own to do their own thing after the Primes got in a fight, and they had that little civil war amongst themselves. He was just like, nah, screw it. Or she was just like, nah, screw it. I'm gonna go to my own planet, and I'm gonna have blackjack and hookers. You know what? Screw the blackjack. I like referencing Bender. But, so, for the transformation for Quintessa Prime, I'm going to give it a B. It's not an amazing transformation. Actually, out of all of the Primes so far, I'm having a hard time choosing which one has the least exciting transformation. Is it Micronus Prime or is it Quintessa Prime? Because both of their transformations are very lackluster, and it's sad. I actually got to look and make sure I actually did a video on Micronus Prime. I'm pretty sure I did. But my final thoughts on the transformation is a B. Now, my final thoughts on this transmetal mode of a crazy flying squid, it's just cool. I'm going to give it an A+. Like, does it get the S ranking? If it had a cool beak that you could open and shut, maybe. But no, this gets the this would just get an A+. A+ for being a freaking awesome little space squid. So overall, we got an A- for the robot mode, A+ for the vehicle mode, and a A+ for the beast mode, and a B for the transformation, because the transformation is very lackluster. You just saw that go down, and I mean, there's nothing special. You don't like split him apart and twist something 180 degrees and then twist the other one only 75 degrees and connect everything back together to get something crazy. It's not really the case with Quintessa Prime. It's a nice, simple transformation. It's enjoyable to do, and it's satisfactory because of the shape you get afterwards. But in my opinion, it is a very simple transformation, and I'm not really a big fan of the simple transformations. I really like the transformations that keep you guessing, keep you trying to figure out what comes next. But I think I've taken up enough of your time today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Those things go a long way to helping me reach more blind people out there, and also helping me reach more people out there who may not know much about the blind and who watch my videos and go, oh wow, blind people enjoy the same things I enjoy. And yes, we do. We all do. We enjoy the same things that sighted people enjoy. We just have to enjoy them in a different way. Like, you don't hear me talking about the paint. I care about how it feels in my hand. I care about its textures. I care about how it transforms. I care about its weight. I care about the plastic quality used in it, which is, all this is good stuff. If it was bad quality, I'd definitely be pointing that out. But that's not the case with this. That's not been the case with any of the primes. The plastic has been exceptional, and the sculpt work has been exceptional. And those are the things, as a blind person, I want. I don't want the plastic to feel trashy like I bought it from the dollar store. And I don't want the figure to feel smooth like a Marvel Legends. I need my textures as a blind person, and Transformers gives me that. So please, like, share, and subscribe to help other people who are blind find Transformers, because I know a Transformer can help them. It will help them a lot, developing that mind-hand coordination that all blind people need in order to exist in the world. We've got to have strong mind-hand coordination, and that's what these guys bring us. They are practice for mind-hand coordination. All right, well, I'm done talking about Quintessa Prime. I hope that you enjoy yours if you get one, and if you're collecting the 13 primes like I am, you're definitely going to get one. And I appreciate the fact that it's not the worst prime. It is just another prime. Could it have been better? Yes. Could it have been worse? Oh, hell yes, it could have been a lot worse. I appreciate what I got. Until next prime, bye-bye for now.